asked 100 guitar players what the greatest amp ever built, greatest of all time, the GOAT, is, you'd probably get a wide range of answers. But I suspect the name that would come up the most often is Dumble. These amplifiers were built by one single individual, Alexander Dumble, to his very exacting specifications, and they go for hundreds of thousands of dollars on the used market. I've never even played one, a real one before. I may know like one or two people who have actually even played one, but I've played a handful of clones, digital emulations, and today we have the Enigmatic 82 Overdrive Special Amp Pedal from Universal Audio. We've posted content on this pedal before. I'm going to link to it below. But I'm going to take a bit of a deep dive into this pedal and show you what it is a little bit of what it is capable of. This thing, it says Overdrive Special. I'll use the word special. This is a special sound, and this pedal captures it beautifully. Alexander Dumble didn't make, he didn't have like a line of amps and all of them were the same. He would build amps for artists who would commission them, and he would build an amp for that player. He would watch them play, he would listen to them play through different amps, and he would tailor the amp that he built for them, for their playing style. So no two Dumble amplifiers are really exactly the same, although he did sort of, over time, kind of have amps that sort of fell into lanes, right? And this isn't a history of Dumble. I'm not qualified to make a video like that. I'd have to do a lot more research and education. But he famously had an amp called the Overdrive Special. And those words are on the Enigmatic pedal, Overdrive Special Amp, the ODS. He famously had an amp called the Steel String Singer, the HRM, the Hot Rodded Marshall. I believe Robin Ford has or had one of those types of amplifiers. And there were different things that he would do. He would retrofit old Fender amps and sort of rebuild them. But the Enigmatic pedal is really more than a single amp in a pedal. So there are a lot of videos out there already that are going over this pedal, but basically what you get, you've got gain, you've got overdrive, because now I have a 2-Rock TS1, Tone Secret 1, and it is a clone of an Overdrive Special. So many of the controls on this pedal are also on the 2-Rock, so I'm somewhat familiar with how all of the controls work, but this is the control for the overdrive channel. It's off in the left position. You can just turn it on and you'll hear it kick in. And then you've got the overall output level. This is not like a master volume. There is sort of a master volume type of control in the app, which we will go over alongside this. Then you've got bass, middle, and treble. Underneath bass, middle, and treble, you have like these alt parameters. You've got the deep and mid, and those emulate the switches that exist on like the 2-Rock, the original D-style amplifiers. You just turn them on and off, bass on, mid on. So, you know, you go into the alt setting and just turn it left or right, and you'll see it reflected in the app if you've got the pedal connected. Here you've got presence is the alt control on under the middle knob, and then the bright is like, you can think of it as like actually a four-way switch. You've got off, and then you've got 3 modes for bright, and you'll see that in the app. The 150 picofarad, I believe these are cap values. I'll subtitle myself. It's like a part that you can swap. You know, you're essentially modding the Dumble. So I'll just change it real quick and show you. You can see it changing there. You've got bright cap is off. Then you've got 150. Then you've got 196. Then you've got 300. As the numbers go higher, the amp will get brighter. Now you've got different options for the tone stack. So on these amplifiers and on the 2-Rock that I have. So again, more familiarity with how this all works. You've got the tone stack EQ can either be rock or jazz. As you might imagine, jazz is going to be warmer, more mellow. Rock is a little more aggressive, a little brighter. Then you've got another tone stack option in the app called Classic or Skyline. Classic is another, again, warmer, mellower. Skyline is a little more aggressive. And these are emulating different models that the legend himself built. Then you've got other controls, which we'll go over in a bit. But right now what I want to do is show you sort of this bass tone. In the playing samples in this video, I used a pedal board with effects. For the rest of this, we're just going to go straight into the pedal, straight out. So you can see there is a lot of headroom here in this clean channel. Gain is all the way up. There's a couple ways you can get more gain out of the amp, a lot more gain we'll talk about in a bit. But super high headroom, very clean pedal platform type of an amplifier, which is what these are famous for by players like John Mayer, for example. You've got some other options here to change just the feel of the amp itself. It's the first thing here in the app. You can see we can run it in 50 watt mode. So I'm just gonna run these so you can hear the difference. Then there are 3 100 watt modes. So we've got squishy first. So you might not hear the difference, especially if you're listening on a phone. By the way, wear headphones or listen through some decent monitors to really get a sense of this thing. You might not hear a difference, but you can definitely feel a difference, especially at loud volumes. If you're monitoring through something that's turned up, you can really hear the difference in these different settings. I kind of like the squishy feel, but that's a preference thing. Then you've got the input of the amp. Some of these amps had separate inputs, like the regular input and then the FET input or the FET input, which would be kind of like a drive in front of the amp. It's another gain stage. So in the app, you have control of that. I'll show you the difference. So that FET input gives you, again, another gain stage that you can use. Finally, there is what's called a Preamp Boost. Now, my TS1 has this as well. When you turn it up, it disengages the tone stack. the bass, middle, treble, and essentially turns them all up to 10. So it lets the full signal through the amp. Now, this is going to give you a gain boost as well. I'll show you a trick here in a bit. You can map it to a Footswitch, so you can essentially use it as like an overdrive, but I'll just turn it on and off. Again, we're just taking bass, middle, and treble out. The Skyline classic rock jazz, that all goes away as well. So as you can hear, it's a very harmonically rich, responsive type of a drive, and you can tailor it, you know, how it interacts with the amp based on the gain of the input on the amp. And I actually do have it mapped to Footswitch, so you can see when I engage it, it turns that Footswitch on. Let's listen to the different tone stack EQs real quick. We'll be in the middle, kind of clean position. Now let's turn the overdrive channel up. So I'll just show you how this works. If you click through the link below to go to Universal Audio's site, they actually give you a very well laid out diagram of how like the signal flow and gain staging and everything works in this pedal and how the different options can affect your overall sound. I recommend checking that out. It's on the page there. Okay, now on the app you have this OD trim, and I'm going to say it does the same thing that this knob does. It doesn't respond to what you do with this knob in the app, but to me it sounds like it does the same thing. Now, when you have the overdrive engaged, I'm just going to turn it on again. You can then turn on the HRM, and I believe that stands for Hot Rodded Marshall. I could be wrong there. You can turn on the HRM EQ and further shape this overdrive for your guitar, your different playing, what have you. So I'm going to turn this on and sort of make a drastic EQ move. So what you might find there is if you turn the overdrive channel on, it might be a little too much low end for you, so you can shape it with the HRM overdrive EQ. Finally, in the app, you have a master gain section. Now this is going to emulate like the master volume. So it's gonna drive the amp in a different section, the power amp stage, rather the preamp stage. So you can clean the amp up by turning it down. So So let's count them up. You've got this gain, like the gain on the amp. You've got the FET input and the FET trim. You got the overdrive, and you've got the master gain section. So you've got 4 different parameters that exist in these actual amplifiers to sort of gain stage it. Whether it's clean, whether it's overdriven, edge of breakup, if it's big and huge, how it's going to respond to your playing. You can really tailor this thing. And then you've got the overall, this output is just pure output level. The next thing we're going to talk about is the cabinets that you get. So there are a lot of cabinets that come with this pedal, and they're all from the aux cabinet modeling, cabinet and microphone speaker modeling. Very, very good. I found I like most of them. They just give you different flavors. So you can go to UA's website. They give you like a long explanation of what they all are. I really like this, the 212 with Electro Voice speaker cabinet in it. One of my other favorites is the D65, which is actually in the aux. So let's just kind of go through a few of the different ones. But in the app, it shows you right here. You can see this is my go-to preset that I made. You've got the black greenback 25. So this is a 112 cab with a greenback speaker. That's that D65. It pushes mids in a particular way, so that like that first one was a lot more open. You know, whatever you like best. Here's the 212 Brute, which I actually like this one a lot too. That's a 412 with V30s, so you know, very different cabinet options. Here's a 212 with the JB. It says JBF 120, so you can go see what those speakers are on the UA website. That last one, it says external. That's the raw output. That's why it went all of a sudden. It's basically like not hearing a cab at all. So you can use that to run into an IR loader if you have particular IRs that you like. UA makes their aux pedal, so you can have your own, you know, presets in the aux pedal and run it out to that. or you can run it into like a power amp and then go into a real cab if you'd like, without cab emulation on this pedal. So it gives you a lot of options in that regard. Finally, I want to talk about some of the options you get with the pedal as far as the foot switches go. So I have it set so this left button is the Preamp Boost, so it's going to give me a gain boost. It's like taking the tone stack out. We talked about that earlier. And then you've got this preset button. If you step on this, it goes between live, which is sort of a what you see is what you get on the front panel of the pedal, and then whatever preset you're using. It gives you the option of a 4-cable hookup. Here are the other options as far as how you can set the pedal up. So this can be your live, this can be your preset. So like if you have the pedal set to be clean and then you have a preset that is like an overdriven, the overdrive channel with a different cab or something, you can go between those two sounds with these two pedals. You can turn the overdrive on and leave this your preset. You can turn preamp boost on and leave this your preset. Or you can have overdrive and then preamp boost. So you can have like your pedal is set how you have it, and then you've got 2 gain stages. You got the preamp boost and then the overdrive on and off. Lots of options there. So you can run this as like a 3 gain stage pedal: clean, overdrive, preamp boost. And I guess you could probably stack them. Finally, you've got a bank of presets. Now, there's no MIDI on these pedals. If you know the UA pedals, you're familiar with how this works. You've basically got, you can save as many presets as you want, and they'll all show up here in your presets list under the user. So we've got a few that we saved. Sean was helping me dial this in, so he saved a setting with the Strat. I have a couple that I saved with different cabs and things. I have an overdrive one that I saved. You can go to these factory settings as well. Mine are doubled for some reason, but I would assume you just get one of each. And these sound really good. Let's just kind of go through a few of them. 1980 suede combo lead. So that's going after a particular amplifier. HRM lead is just going to give you a different flavor. Big Clean B cap. That's actually the preset that I use to build sort of my go-to preset. I tweaked this one a bit. So lots of presets here to play around with, and then you also have artist presets. So we've got some from Joey Landreth. Well, Joey, I like your tones. Let's try your Edge of Breakup, shall we? That's pretty good. I like that. So that is an overview of the Enigmatic 82 Overdrive Special pedal from Universal Audio. Huge thank you to UA for letting Bradford and I check this out. I've linked below. Bradford made a video that is titled, "What if John Mayer Played Worship Songs?" And I suggest you watch it because it's pretty good. Bradford broke out his best John Mayer, and they could be the same person in that video as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We'd very much appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.